So our deload week doesn't necessarily mean we're going to have an easy week. We're going to have a pretty tough week still, but it'll just feel different. Obviously, we've got our big EMOM on Tuesday, so that's going to be really challenging, and that's going to feel like the big workout of the week. The other days will just feel more like a decompression of the spine. We're not going to work as heavy or as much volume as we typically would, and that's just going to leave us feeling pretty good by the end of the week to hit next week pretty hard. On Monday, we've got upstairs, we've got downstairs, and then we've got a finisher. 10 chainsaw rows on each side. This is a really good unilateral exercise done with dumbbells, and as you can see, I'm not actually using a bench that you would typically do for your bent over rows. We're going to use your arm and prop your arm against your knee. That way it's a little bit more full body, so you're going to get more muscles involved, and there's that natural rotation that you'll see in the dumbbell chainsaw rows that's going to be really good for your serratus and then muscles that surround your torso. Really cool exercise, and you can actually go surprisingly heavy with that little bit of rotation. Try not to kip your way through it. You notice mine are relatively controlled the whole time, and you're focusing on a really big range of motion. After that, you've got 10 around the worlds. So notice with the around the worlds, we've got some stations set up upstairs. You're going to try and take your legs up and over the barbell. As you can see, I'm trying to demonstrate really good form with legs straight, toes pointed, and avoiding a lot of swinging. Ideally, you should be able to do a set of 10 here without stopping. I know that might be challenging for some people, but I'm really looking for quality over quantity here. So rigid legs, and if you can't keep your legs dead straight, you're just going to do the same thing, but it'll be more of like a hanging knee raise around the world. And then you've got your backwards sled drag. So I actually want you to load this sled up with as much as you can, and you're just going to pull it the length of the gym. So don't pull it up, turn it around, and bring it back. I just want you to drag it up in one direction. It's like little steps, keeping your back flat, keeping relatively upright as well. And this is going to be really important for building strong knees and some quad strength as well, without actually going into a deep squat. So it's really good for deload week without stopping. So don't stop every 2 or 3 meters to readjust. I need it to be heavy enough that you can still do that full length unbroken. With your handstand walks, it's pretty easy just to sort of say, let's just do some handstand walk practice. But if you're an advanced athlete or, relatively good at handstand walks now, I actually want you to grab an object between your legs. A little hip band might work perfectly for this. And I want you to focus on squeezing your feet together as you walk. So notice that creates a nice vertical body rather than scorpion. I found that this was a little bit awkward and holding me and placing it up there. So what might work a little bit easier if you could potentially wall walk up, and then your partner can place that thing between your feet, and then you can walk away from the wall, and that way you're already set into that vertical position as well. If you're intermediate or you're just getting the hang of handstands, let's just focus on accumulating 10 to 20 meters worth of handstand walking. If you're not into handstand walks, let's just focus on 3 to 5 wall walks. That'll be completely fine. Ideally, for those that are good to go, I want you to actually catch the snatch in the lunge, and notice I reset on the floor each time. So this is a really good way to build proper mechanics in the hinge, and it's actually really good for timing as well. So if you can't figure that out, and notice it's the same leg going behind as the arm that I'm holding, scaling option will just be snatch it up first, reset your body, make sure you're set to go, and then controlled backward lunge. It's a really cool exercise, and it does build a lot of coordination, and like I said, timing is going to be everything for this, and that's going to transfer over to more complex things like the barbell snatch and clean and jerk as well. If you can just look at my hand position here, you notice that my wrists are all the way across my body, and my lower arm doesn't get trapped from my upper arm. So I kind of think of that infinity symbol or a figure 8, and that's what's going to allow the rope to not get trapped with that arm that's underneath the top arm. This is a great exercise to practice to build coordination as well. But if you are on that double under journey, I'd prefer you to spend today getting better at the double unders. So I want you to try to accumulate 150 reps or whatever it is for you. But if you do struggle with these, and they have obviously popped up in the quarterfinals before, I want you to be really good at this stuff. I want you to be able to do 50 super easy without even concentrating. You should be able to do it with your eyes closed. These are really, really good for that midline stability. You're going to do or accumulate 100 banded tall plank pulls. So a tall plank is when you're on your hands, not on your elbows. And you're going to try and keep your hips nice and square, and then you're just going to row your elbow to your hip without twisting through the middle. So you're really working on them anti-rotational muscles and, all them things that surround your torso. Tough exercise to do. I would just be maybe knocking out 10 and 10 on each side and then having a little break. Don't let form slip on this one. It's a really unique day today to just get some different things happening and to just focus on timing, strength, one arm movements, some skills. You're still going to work hard and work your ass off. Try to have a little bit of fun because tomorrow is going to be brutal.
Perfect.